Hello class, for this week we were supposed to complete the Scrumdinger app tutorial. My name is Sadie Sweat and this is IDM 220. For this presentation, I'm actually just going to do it by sections instead of exercises because I probably took quite a few screenshots just doing the exercises, so I'll just summarize each section instead. So in this section, the Swift UI Essentials, I basically just got started with the files, creating the structure that I need for the file formatting, and then in each file, creating the stacks to create the views for these files. Views. In this section, there's creating a card view and displaying data in a list. For the creating a card view section, I created the daily scrum and then the stylizing, the coloring, the padding, the structure of it, the trailing icon, the little people at the bottom, the just structurizing the card view more, and then displaying the data in a list. I did the scrums view, and then I was able to make it identifiable in the daily scrum so I'll be able to use it, as well as just making it connected. Navigation and model presentation. For the section creating a navigation hierarchy, I created the navigation stack in the scrums view, and then I created the detail view in the detail view Swift file, as well as adding the list function to the detail view, and then adding in all that, the section, the labels, the text, the accessibilities, and then the stylizing for the padding, the background color, the foreground color, things like that for it. And then adding the ability to add or see the attendees. And then for the next section, the navigating between screens, I'm creating that link to make it so that they're connected as well. I actually forgot to add in the last section that I created the edit view option as well. So for this section, drawing a timer, I just created that little timer icon for the daily scrum section. Passing data with bindings. So in this section, I created that theme picker file and then the theme Swift file, so that way I can edit which theme I wanted to, and then adding that tag into the detail edit view so that way I would be able to actually make the changes, and then updating that information onto the detail view file so that way it could be passable. And then finally adding that binding bar onto the scrums view so that it could be interchangeable for that. And then for the final one, passing a binding into the list view. That's the same thing. I just went into the Scrumdinger app and did the state private var scrum, and then doing the daily scrum sample data so it would pull from it, as well as adding that scrum view onto it as well. State management, making classes observable. So in this section, I was able to make it so that you could see what the classes were and actually click on that link, and then being able to responding to events, say if you're going to attend and who is attending, as well as managing the state and life cycle and updating app data so that it would all reflect on what you were doing when you were in the program. Persistence and concurrency. So in this one, there's some articles to read. The biggest thing that I did was the being able to have the page where he is speaking and keeping track of how many seconds are remaining and how many seconds have been used. And recording audio. For this section, I examined the data flow in the Scrumdinger and then transcribed speech to text, as well as having other resources to see what I can do next with this app. So in this one, I created the code that allowed it to transcribe what I was saying into text from talking.